Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Zhou Jingyi. Today I need to talk about an invisible anomaly occurring in your blood. Every day, we unknowingly eat, drink, and inhale plastic. It's a reality of our modern existence that we can no longer ignore. Microplastics, tiny polymer fragments so small they're invisible to the naked eye, were once thought to simply pass through the body. We believed they would be excreted naturally, posing little more than a transient presence within our digestive systems. However, recent research has revealed a much more concerning truth. They enter our bloodstream and circulate throughout our entire anatomy. They even penetrate the seemingly impenetrable blood-brain barrier, a defense mechanism we once thought was absolute. Our bodies are unknowingly transforming into plastic storage depots, accumulating materials that were never meant to be there. In this documentary, we will explore the implications of this crisis and the cutting-edge science working to reverse it. We will look at how these fragments cause inflammation and what happens when they reach the most sacred parts of our being. Stay with me as we uncover the invisible enemy lurking in our very lifeblood. Let's begin our investigation. To understand the scale of this problem, we must first look at the complexity of our circulatory system. These fragments are often smaller than a single cell, allowing them to travel through even the smallest capillaries in our body. Estimates suggest we could be taking in thousands of these particles every week through the air we breathe and the water we drink. The lung-blood barrier is the first point of entry, where the smallest nanoplastics slip through into systemic circulation. As global plastic production continues to rise, so does the concentration of these synthetic fragments within our own biology. These are not just inert dust particles. They are complex polymers with varied chemical structures and potential additives. The diversity of plastic types found in the body reflects the myriad of products we use in our daily lives, from bottles to textiles. Once in the blood, their physical shape, often sharp and irregular, can cause mechanical stress to the delicate lining of our vessels. The liver and spleen act as primary filters, yet they are increasingly becoming sites of long-term storage for these indigestible materials. The lymphatic system also plays a role in transporting these fragments, potentially spreading them to even the most remote tissues. What's wrong with having microplastics in the body? While many plastics are chemically stable, they are not biological. The body's immune system recognizes these fragments as foreign substances, triggering a defensive response that never truly ends. Tiny plastic fragments floating in the bloodstream can overstimulate immune cells, becoming the spark for chronic inflammation. If this inflammation persists, it can lead to the hardening of blood vessel walls and a range of metabolic disorders. Chronic inflammation is a silent driver of aging and disease throughout the body, contributing to conditions we once thought were natural. Even more frightening is the possibility that these plastic fragments could become carriers that absorb and transport harmful chemicals. By absorbing toxins, plastics act as a Trojan horse, delivering concentrated doses of pollutants directly into our cells. From pesticides to flame retardants, the chemical cocktail hitching a ride on plastic shards adds a new layer of danger. Our body's recycling and detoxification systems must not become a dumping ground for these synthetic, non-biodegradable materials. The long-term effects of this accumulation are only just beginning to be understood by the global medical community. Physical blockage, though rare, is a theoretical risk when these particles aggregate or trigger excessive clotting factors. Laboratory studies show that even at low concentrations, nanoplastics can disrupt the normal functioning of our vascular lining. The result is oxidative stress, a state where the body's antioxidant defenses are overwhelmed by synthetic-induced damage. This isn't just a localized problem. It's a systemic challenge that requires a holistic medical perspective to address effectively. Identifying these markers early could be the key to managing the health risks associated with our plastic-filled environment. Experts are deeply concerned about the impact on the brain, the most protected and delicate organ in the human body. However, reports show that extremely small pieces of plastic, just a few nanometers in size, can slip through this defense. Once across the barrier, These shards are trapped in a space that has no natural mechanism for removing large synthetic polymers. What impact does this accumulated plastic have on our nerve cells and the delicate electrical signals they carry? Preliminary studies suggest a link to impaired cognitive function and the acceleration of neurological conditions. The disruption of cellular energy production within neurons could be a primary mechanism of plastic-induced toxicity. This is not simply a matter of internal dirt. It's a battle to protect the very foundation of our thoughts and memories. As we age, the cumulative burden on the brain's barrier may make it even more susceptible to these synthetic invaders. I've talked about frightening things, haven't I? It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of this invisible invasion. But there's no need to despair. The same scientific curiosity that uncovered the problem is now focused on the solution. Scientists are now testing innovative methods to remove this accumulated plastic and restore our internal ecosystem. The goal is a purification of the body, a way to purge the synthetic remnants of our industrial age from our most vital systems. This field of research is expanding rapidly, with promising results emerging from labs across the globe. Protecting the brain is the ultimate frontier in our battle against the plastic crisis. Let's look at the tools we are building. Currently, 2 major research projects are underway to purify plastics from the human body. The first is experimental filtration therapy, a technology that selectively removes specific polymers from the bloodstream. By passing the blood through specialized membranes, we can physically extract the microfragments that cause so much damage. This approach offers immediate relief from the physical stress of circulating plastics, reducing the trigger for inflammation. The second project, and the one I find most fascinating, is the use of decomposition by specialized enzymes. In nature, there are microorganisms that possess enzymes capable of breaking down plastics like polyethylene into basic elements. Research is at the experimental stage to safely apply these enzymes within the body to break down accumulated plastic stores. Once decomposed into harmless, water-soluble components, the plastic can finally be excreted through our natural biological pathways. This is a way to truly purge the body's ecosystem, removing the synthetic invaders at a molecular level. This may be the 21st century detox, a necessary defense against the toxins of our own creation. Scaling this technology safely and affordably is the next great challenge for the medical and biotech industries. A comprehensive protocol will likely involve multiple stages to address both circulating and deeply embedded particles. The potential to reverse the plastic crisis within our own bodies is a beacon of hope in an increasingly synthetic world. Early detection and personalized purification plans will be the cornerstone of this new medical frontier. We are moving toward a future where we can actively manage the impact of environmental pollution on our personal biology. Let's summarize. Microplastics lurking in our bloodstream are an unavoidable modern crisis that we must face with clear eyes. However, medical technology is definitely working to find a way to remove that toxin and restore our internal balance. What we can do now is take precautions to prevent further exposure and protect our internal environment as best we can. Avoid heating plastic containers, choose natural materials when possible, and take deep breaths in places with clean, filtered air. Trust in the latest science and stay informed about the developments in environmental medicine and detoxification. Maintaining a clean internal environment is exactly the same as protecting the Earth's environment. They are deeply connected. Every small change we make in our daily habits contributes to the long-term health of our bodies and our planet. The goal is resilience, building a body and a world that can withstand the challenges of the synthetic age. We have the knowledge and the tools to navigate this crisis. It starts with awareness and ends with action. Let's commit to a cleaner future, both outside and within. Our health and the health of the world depend on it. The movement toward a plastic-free life is gaining momentum, fueled by the science we've discussed today. Simple steps, like high-quality water filtration, can significantly reduce your daily intake of nanoplastics. Supporting your body's natural antioxidant defenses through a nutrient-rich diet provides a critical layer of protection. In the future, personal monitoring of our internal synthetic load will be as common as tracking our daily steps. We are not alone in this fight. The brightest minds in medicine are dedicated to purging the invisible enemy from our bodies. By monitoring these high-density accumulation zones, we can better understand the pathways of exposure for coastal populations. The integration of molecular biology and environmental science is creating a new paradigm for human health. As we scan the frontiers of this research, the priority remains clear: to protect the integrity of our most basic biological structures. Moving toward a plastic-free biology is a monumental task, but it is one that we are finally equipped to undertake. Each action we take, from individual choices to global policy, brings us closer to a future defined by biological purity. This was a somewhat science fiction-like, yet harsh discussion. But it's a conversation we need to have. Let's continue to protect our healthy circulatory systems and stay informed about the latest breakthroughs. Thank you for joining me today. Your health is your most valuable asset. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now and stay healthy.